Worst nostalgia trip ever taken. Worst nostalgia trip ever taken.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, internet. Hello, people. Anyone who decides to watch this. This is going to be a frustrating episode. These movies were not good. And,
No.
no. And I didn't know that there was more than one. Boy, was that a surprise.
I think you only watched two of them. I watched all three. I want you to know. Okay.
I was literally gonna message you. I'm like, there's actually three. The third one popped up after the fact, and I was like, I don't know if I can mentally handle another one. You poor man.
The sad thing is, the third one was actually probably the best of the three. I'm just saying.
Well, I have two of them with notes. We'll see which ones were the ones Paulie Boy here got to see. This will be interesting. So yeah, welcome back to Jokey Pants. We're gonna cover over the Popeye movies because people decided we got to make Popeye a slasher, but let's not have it make any sense to what Popeye is. Because why do that at all? Why bother? Oh, I think that's the one thing I can say for like the Grinch and some of the other ones they've done. Where like at least they tried to follow some of the like lore, whatever the character was. Whereas any of the Popeyes, they just did whatever they felt like. I don't understand.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Don't understand these movies.
Especially like the two that you watched, those were nothing at all. You know.
I'm actually kind of curious what the other one was now. All right. So my notes.
I gotta say, it's like, hey, let's have Paul on the show. Here's a movie. Oh, somebody owes me liquor. Okay, I'm just saying.
They owe both of us. Oh. So without further ado, let's start off with a movie here. Oh God. So I got Popeye's Revenge, and this one drove me nuts because this one was made. To like young filmmakers, I get it. You don't have a budget, but like this was really rough. Like this was like you had no budget and someone just had a lake cabin and you were like, perfect. And it doesn't fit. It doesn't make any sense. So this one opened up with a storybook opening about like a canning factory. It got shut down and there's like a whole. This one's a storybook thing about. The other one. No,
that's
the other one.
Canning factory.
Yeah, see, they both blend together, but no. So this one has a storybook opening, but this one's so weird because this one says that like Popeye was born and was like a freak. There's like they try to give you like a backstory, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no.
But word quickly spread about the murder. An angry mob soon surrounded the house. The parents were unable to do anything.
So yeah, his parents ended up hating him because he was like a freaky kid. Because I guess if you're born with just really large forearms, you get abandoned. I don't know what message that is, but all right. So
well, not only that, did you missed the part where he reaches for Daddy's hand and breaks his wrist immediately? I mean,
yeah,
you know.
he
Little bad action going there.
That, like, this Popeye should have been in the wrong turns that we already covered. Like, he seems like he's part of that family for some reason.
Yeah.
They must be close to a paper mill, and he's mutated. That's the only answer I have. So kids start bullying him. He ends up killing them. Starts a whole legend about Popeye being a murderer and he's a monster. Okay. Again, don't know why that's the things we went with, but that is what they chose.
Well, where my mind went was they were kind of reaching for that Friday the 13th vibe.
I have.
They were reaching for it, but they were reaching for it.
I have a note later that they made some choices. So his parents end up locking him in the basement, and that's kind of where the origin comes from, is that he was locked away, and I don't know, I guess he died in a basement, and his ghost came back. It doesn't make sense. Trust me, it just doesn't make sense.
None of this movie makes sense.
God, no. Which is why I also had the note of he has the origin of both Jason and Freddy, because he also has, like, dream things that he does. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
There's a paranormal investigator rookies on a lake discussing Popeye legend, and again, I don't care, because it doesn't make sense, and they could explain it all they want. I still don't get it. So then we have them. They go explore the house because they need footage. Because if you're going to be a paranormal investigator, you have to go in the place that's supposedly haunted, even if there's a murderer ghost. I guess. I don't know if I would do that. So then one of the women, a woman and a guy. Basically, I have that they decided to just make a really bad porno in a burned out house. I don't know why this movie made the choices that it had. It doesn't go well.
Okay, you said are you sure that you're not talking about Slayer Man?
Maybe
you
I
said
had
Popeye's Revenge, but Popeye's Revenge was the lake one with they were supposedly gonna go, work on the house. Yeah.
These movies blended together for me, so my notes might have gotten all mixed up here. Well, regardless, let me just...
Remember her family owned the house and whatever.
Yeah. Her family owns a house.
That's Popeye's Revenge. Yeah, that's it.
So
they were going up to fix it. So here's the confusing part I want to point out. According to the tag on the movie, that they're a group of like teenagers, young adults, going up to reopen a summer camp. By the way, that tag had nothing to do with the movie. Okay, that zero. They weren't going up there to reopen the summer camp. No, they weren't going.
If that's what they were doing,
a haunted house attraction.
It's a bad summer camp. If that's what they were doing, it's one house. What do you mean?
I don't know if you caught this. This is from the same people who made Blood and Honey and Blood and Honey 2.
I didn't. I completely... Oh, God. I was hoping Slasher Man would have been the one, because at least Slasher Man was like, this one's not great, but this one they tried a little more. But this one? Oh, boy. That makes more sense.
I watched it first because I thought, well, this is their third outing. It's got to be decent. Boy, was I wrong, okay? I was like, oh, holy crap, it got worse. I don't know what they did with all that money from Blood and Honey.
I don't either, because it definitely didn't go here. So we have like parents arguing with their kids because they're gonna go out to the lake and they're gonna fix up the cabin. Apparently a summer camp thing, which again it doesn't make any sense. There's no way.
Not even mentioned in the movie. Not even mentioned in the movie at all.
Exactly. Which is why it's even more confusing. Because she's literally just like, yeah, we own this house on the lake. We're gonna go fix it up so we have like a summer cabin. There's no mention of summer camp. It's just
they were gonna make it a haunted attraction.
To
feed off the lore, a haunted attraction to feed off the lore.
So stupid.
By the way, you know what else we never saw in this movie? Never saw one tool. Okay, I'm just saying. These people went to work on this house.
No. Whatever premise they had, this turned into a Friday the 13th. Teenagers go to cabin to party, and that's all they did. There was no fixing anything. Yeah. There was no. So they end up going up to the cabin. They run into like a local fisher, and he's all like, "Hey, be careful of the lake, because if you see the fog, it's already too late. The sailor's coming." And I'm like, what the hell is this movie? Who's this guy? Like, who's this random dude?
But the fishing's gonna be good tonight. Remember, he came to fishing.
So dumb. So the kids don't know how to don't know what to do about him. They get their warning about the fog, which is a thing kind of in both movies. They do something a little different with that concept, but they both use the same like way that Popeye shows up in a way. They show up, they have no signal on their phones, and everybody's all like, "That's BS, like, man, I gotta blah blah blah." And I'm like,
I want to point that out too. They had no signal on their phone except in the one area she was in.
Yep.
Except by the spa when they needed it for the plot. All of a sudden, it was there.
Yes. Yes. So everyone, they all argue about that the house is really, really bad. And let me tell you, when they're complaining that, we have to do so much work. What work? This house is like, it's a house. How much work you going to hang up some cobwebs, maybe a fog machine? Yeah. There's not really you don't have to like remodel the place. It's a pretty nice looking house. Like, what are you talking about? God.
And again, I'm pretty sure none of the females in the movie have ever swung a hammer or moved a saw. So,
I don't think anyone in this movie has done any kind of work, especially the daughter who's like in charge of the group. She's probably the worst manager of a group I've ever seen. Like, she just keeps walking around with a clipboard like, "Come on, guys, we got to get to work. Come on, guys, time to get to work." It's like, make them work. What do you do? Yeah. What do you have a clipboard for, by the way?
And then her partner there, he's like, "What do you mean we're paying them? We didn't say we're paying them." So apparently she's making unilateral decisions with money they don't have. Yeah. Well, I had to get them to come out here. Did you?
Yeah, I had to
really?
Get them to come out. Like, yeah, did you though? I feel like this is a one-person job and not an entire group. But all right. Then we finally get to see Popeye because he shows up. Also, this also hurt my brain a little bit. He shows up on a random boat, just a boat, and then he gets off, and it's like. So we're not on the ocean. We're on some lake.
Well, no, hang on, no. You're getting the movies. You're getting the movies confused. In this, wasn't this one the meteor came down, hit the fisherman who went out there? He ended up like sucking the meteor through his pipe.
No, if I remember correctly, I think he kills the old fisherman dude because he was out fishing and the fog shows up, but he's like determined that there's going to be good fishing.
Maybe
kills
I'm getting the movies confused. They're so.
And then he steals his boat. Like he steals that fisherman's boat, shows up at the dock, and then comes out, and I'm like, why? Why is he? Why is that? Why did he even take the boat? It seems like he was already on the shore. Why?
And apparently nobody notices this blood covered Popeye guy wandering around the lake. Yeah,
nobody notices anything in this movie.
Or the ocean actually, because now here's another. This movie was shot in the UK in Ireland or that area.
Makes sense.
But it was supposed to take place in California. There's a switch for you. In one of the little oceanside towns in California. And you could tell that their accents did slip out every once in a while. I don't know why they did that again.
I don't.
So much was wrong with this movie, dude. I don't really know where to start. So I will call out the fact that we see the parents twice in the movie, at the beginning and at the end. Always in the same place in the house, and they never change clothes. And apparently they were up at 4 in the morning, totally dressed and combed and ready to go.
Oh yeah, just didn't matter.
No.
we get the they get a notification that there's going to be heavy fog, and they're immediately like, "Oh my god, how are we going to work in these conditions?" I'm like, "Fog? How does that affect doing what you're? That doesn't make sense. That shouldn't affect you at all."
Not inside the house anyway. Yeah.
What are we talking about? At this point, then we have basically a leader girl tries convincing them that they have to keep working, and then of course no one does anything. No one does any work in this movie, no matter what she says.
Yeah.
This one they do actually show. They show the parents briefly here, but it's literally just a mom being like, "There were murders at that house. We have to save our kids." And then they just cut back. We don't see them again for like another 30, 40 minutes when this movie's almost over. So I don't know what they were doing
because at the beginning of the movie they made clear that it was like a 6-hour drive.
Oh, this movie. Because even with that, it shouldn't still be like 9 o'clock at night when the parents show up. So it still just doesn't add up. The parents end up going, let's see. Oh yeah, then we meet Olive Oil for the first time in this movie, and she doesn't make any sense as a character because she just shows up to be creepy. And then they try to say that she has a connection to Popeye, which I didn't understand the connection because she just seems crazy.
I equated her to Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th. Yeah. You're all gonna die. Okay, well, you know.
They start her off that way, and she even tries saying like, "I played with the boy, and he just needed a friend." I'm like, how long ago did that happen to where you're saying, how old are you? Because when did any of this happen? Penelope's just crazy. Like Olive Oil. She doesn't make any sense.
And she doesn't look like Olive Oil either. It's supposed to be a tall, lanky, you know.
She doesn't. She looks like your average. She looks like an average drug user that you find out on
pretty much
the local gas station, and it doesn't make sense.
Maybe that's what they paid her in to get her to come do the bit, you know.
That's actually probably true. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother with the notes because I can't. With the rest of this movie, you get a boyfriend. He goes to cheat on girlfriend in the hot tub. And like gets shot down, and then that's like a subplot is that he's been cheating on his girlfriend with the other girl the whole time, and I'm like, why is this a subplot? Why is this a thing we're wasting time on? Doesn't matter because the girl ends up getting killed by Popeye in the hot tub.
That kill took way too long, by the way, for somebody who was an infant could snap his daddy's wrist that quick. That kill took way too long. It's like
oh god. Overall, we'll just break down how the rest of this movie plays out.
Well, I want to point out something real quick. Okay, so she dies. The next morning, they get to go, where's she at? And one of them just goes, oh, she caught a cab. Okay, no cell service at this point.
Exactly.
Why would you even assume she caught a cab? And it came from him, like he knows she's dead. That's the other part I don't get. Is why would you just assume, well, she left?
Oh, well, that's simple because because she was going to tell his girlfriend, which is another C subplot of she sends a text of what's been going on with no signal. So I don't know how that even went through for later, but okay.
Yeah, no warning on the phone says couldn't send, you know, because we've all seen those things when we can't get a text to go through.
Exactly.
It kicks back and says, hey, it doesn't go through. Yeah.
There's plot holes all over.
It's more hole than plot, actually, at this point. But
it really is. We get some of the friends, like, they just talk, do their own thing. The one weird guy tries to hit on one of the girls, and she turns him down, and he feels bad. He goes out to, there was like the pier, and then he gets murdered, and he gets murdered like the worst way possible. Like, of all these people, he was the only one I'm like, oh, that's just unnecessarily brutal, man.
Yeah.
Why are you doing him like that? What did he do?
Actually, there were two of them that got killed like that. Was the one that got finished rubbing one out when he got, remember? Yeah. Or no, that was so
that was him. He was just like, oh, she doesn't love me. And it's like, oh, this poor guy. Like, oh, and his day just got worse. What a dude.
And then that went on for a while. He's screaming and screaming and screaming. Oh, God, by the way, notice nobody hears all the screams, by the way.
No, nobody hears anything in this movie. I don't know how. He ends up killing, I think, like, just about everybody else. If I remember right, he steals the other guy and then the cheating boyfriend, and he, like, This is another thing in this movie. He does random things, because the other two guys that get killed, like, he chains one of them to a goal at a soccer field.
Yeah.
But not the other guy, and I'm like, why one and not the... Why did you let one of them run away? What was the point?
Yes,
what was the point of this?
And this town sucks because apparently nobody notices the dead bodies for a while, so...
Nobody notices anything. Which, also...
let's see. Well, the other question I had for... Same problem I have with the original Michael Myers. And they mentioned in Halloween is, who taught this guy how to drive? Okay.
Oh, my God.
And it wasn't an automatic he was driving, so he had to figure out how to pop the clutch and do the gears to move that thing. I'm just saying.
He takes a giant lawnmower and runs the guy over with the chain. And that is a good point of, like, this is supposedly a kid who is locked in a basement his whole life. He wouldn't know how to use any of that. He would have never seen any of this. Apparently, being a ghost.
Some Grand Theft Auto.
It's so dumb. And bad boyfriend, he gets back to the group. Parents show up. They all have, like, a moment of, like, we need to leave because blah, blah, blah. Also, other girl tries to get away. The cheating, or not the cheating girl, but one of the other girls tries to get away. She gets in a car gets flipped, she gets killed. Again, no one hears this going on. A car getting flipped over and someone getting murdered. Not a word from anyone. I don't know how.
No.
Oh boy. But then they do find that, but it's too late. The parents get killed, and I was like, well, when you have bad parenting like we've seen in this movie, I can't say I feel terrible for you, because what were you doing?
Yeah.
None of you noticed anything, so I was coming. But this movie, overall, I'll just skip to it. They run him over with the lawnmower. And they pull... To go back really quick, there is also a plot point that Popeye is Freddy Krueger because he just sends out dreams to make people keep his house intact. Why? Who the hell knows? Why?
Because these are the people that killed him initially. It is a Freddy Krueger thing. It is a revenge thing. It has to stay within the lineage of the people who originally killed him or his family. You know.
So dumb.
Yeah, it really stretched it.
And
by the way, if anybody does ever watch this movie, and I will tell you right now, don't.
Yeah, don't. Don't.
At the end, when they're gonna light the gas on fire to try to. Okay, Bic lighters don't work like that. As soon as he releases the Bic, the flame is gone. Okay, I'm just saying. It's yeah, Olive Oil. She kills the mom, and then they light her on fire, and it's one of those things where I'm like, why is this the direction we're going? Like this whole movie, it's so bad. But anyway, they kill Popeye using that riding lawnmower, and then they like
throw his stuff back in the ocean, the bay, whatever, and I'm like, why are we doing Friday the 13th, though? Why does he have to be set back to... Just leave him. You killed him.
Because we're going to get a sequel.
Leave.
Blood and Popeye 3 or something. I don't know.
Spinach and blood. God. But they pull like a straight up Friday the 13th because he comes back to life and attacks her and the movie ends. And I'm like, I didn't need that.
Yeah. It really made no... This is probably... And I can't... I thought Blood and Honey was stupid. I still haven't watched the second one. Well, actually, let me be clear. Blood and Honey, without the Winnie the Pooh rapping, would have made a decent B-type slasher movie.
That's fair.
It was the Winnie the Pooh rapping that kind of made you go, what? Because it was basically two guys in overalls with a mask. You know,
yes.
It's
like... fun fact, the second movie says that the first movie was just a documentary on like Lifetime to explain why it was so bad. And I was like, I don't care what you say, that you can't make an excuse.
That would have only worked if they got like John Walsh to do the voiceover for it.
Exactly.
John Walsh dub. You know.
So that was Popeye's Revenge. I give it like a 1.5. That's being generous.
You're nicer than me. The sad thing is, because when I do this kind of stuff with like you guys and stuff, I don't just rent the movie in case I want to go back to it and get something. I bought both of the movies. I just want you to know.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
In case I have to go, in case they were decent, I wanted to go back and check something, you know? Yeah, I'm going to use these as like basically torture porn if I ever decide to strap somebody in a chair, force their eyes open and go, no, you are going to watch this all the way through.
You're going to watch these Popeyes. See, what you do is first you make them watch the Robin Williams Popeye, and then let them get their guard down and be like, okay, then. Be like, yeah, did you enjoy that? You're not going to enjoy what comes next. So the other one that I have, it's Popeye the Slayer Man, which was the only one I knew was happening. I didn't know about the other ones. The Slayer Man, I'd seen posters about it, I'd seen posts, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course, we're gonna do another character, whatever. And boy, I was not prepared for what this movie was either.
Yeah.
This one wasn't good. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's great, go watch it. No, but compared to what I watched,
better than Popeye's Revenge. I will say it was better than Popeye's Revenge.
Compared to what I had watched right before it, it was a little bit better. At least Popeye looked like Popeye in a way.
Sort of.
So bad.
My first note. I have two first notes in the count. First thing I noticed is the practical effects in Slayerman were much better than Popeye's Revenge.
Yes, this was a team of people who kind of knew a bit more what they were doing.
You could tell they had one good practical effect though, and they used it a few times, which is fine. You know, everybody needs their head squished. You know, so.
God, they do that so much here.
And then, Brian Popeye with the mask at certain angles had a Brian Keith look to him. If you go back and, I don't know if you know who that actor is, but yeah, old white dude. And if you go look at it, you'll go, holy shit, he does.
You're right. So, yeah. So this one starts off almost the exact same, because it's another group of teens going to check out a haunted place. This time it's a spinach canning factory, because Popeye. Couldn't think of anything else. He eats spinach, sure, but like a spinach factory, really? Really? This is the setting? Okay. So so they go in.
At least they tried to get farther into the mythos.
You know what? That is at least that is something. But yeah, no, they're going into this factory at night. It's shut down. It has a lot of bad history, supposedly haunted, yada yada. And they're like, it'll make good footage for something, something. So we get
this is the which one, the Halloween Resurrection, when they're doing the let's go do this found footage in-house haunted crap. That's basically what they're so bad.
Yes.
So bad.
Yeah, then we get there's a woman who's being chased by two guys. This movie's weird. This movie's very weird because it cuts to like a woman getting chased who goes into the factory, and I don't know. I guess she did something.
Oh yeah, maybe this is the California one. Yeah, one of them was, but they were not in California. Trust me.
No.
Been there.
one of the dudes who's chasing this woman, he's all superstitious. He knows about the factory, that he knows there's like a bunch of things that happen, and he's like, we shouldn't be in here because No.
By the way, this winner of a dude was him and his friend were beating the crap out of a homeless guy on the beach at the beginning of the. So just because apparently, A
girl runs off. We get the superstitious. One of the goons has a can roll on him, and he thinks that's weird. Boy, will that happen a lot in this movie. Yeah. One of the guys gets killed off screen. Dude who saw the can. We get another head crush where he's just which again, they do actually have better effects in this one. I just wish they'd had a little bit of a better story. It could have helped. And Popeye talks. He didn't talk in the first one. This one, he actually says a couple one-liners, and I was like, huh. Yeah.
It's mostly, I am what I am. Okay.
I am what I am. It's like, why is that the only line he's saying? Popeye says more than just that, for the love of God.
Especially when you get through the movie and find out who Popeye really is, and you're like, really? We're going to go there? And my issue was, they had a talking Popeye. They didn't have him say much, and they didn't even try to mimic his voice mannerisms that we're used to.
No, he just.
I mean,
he was just like.
I understand the heavy pipe smoking for 50 years, but still,
he just has a gargly, gruff voice. It's not like no, they don't do that at all. They don't even attempt.
Which would have been awesome. I mean, after a kill, if he did that laugh, that would have been awesome.
I would have laughed. I would have probably tried a little more. We cut over to our main group of kids, which, whatever. We all know most of them aren't going to make it, right?
They're 30, okay? Let's admit it. They're 30,
They're supposed to be teenagers. I even have it in my notes. I'm like, high school? These are like graduating college. What are you talking about?
The receding hairline blue. I mean, I'm just saying,
So they talk about the Popeye ghost story, which overall was just that there was the canning factory had a contamination, and then somebody blew a whistle, and they like blame Popeye, and then Popeye he loses his mind because olive oil in this one was the whistleblower, and they fire her, and Popeye apparently went crazy. And then there's a reason they give you why he went crazy, and it makes even less sense than the first movie. I don't understand.
Don't eat tainted spinach. I'm just telling you, don't eat tainted spinach.
They're just there was a contamination in the spinach, and I'm like, are we in wrong turn universe with both of these? Because Why? Why does contaminated spinach make you a mutant monster? I don't understand. What contamination? What, were you next to the radioactive power plant? Like, what are you talking about? God. After they get to talking about the factory and giving us this huge backstory, we end up meeting our secondary villain, which is just some rich dude who wants to buy the factory to level it, and he wants to make condos. Cause what? I'm sorry, did we go back to the 1980s for this plot point? What do you mean he's building condos? Yeah. Why is this a thing? So anyway, him and the realtor get into a whole argument about that they can't because the land's contaminated and there's like things they have to do and procedures, and he's all, I'm rich, just do it. Because of course. Of course. And she ends up, and she ends up dropping the deal papers, which will only become important later. But they get a glimpse of what they think is a vagrant. So he sends his bodyguard to take care of it. Doesn't go well for him. Does not go well. So he tries to fight Popeye, thinking he's a vagrant, and Popeye, if I remember, don't we get this like another head thing with this guy, like really
just
heavy.
one of the wrist snaps. This was that.
He like goes to punch Popeye, and Popeye just like, and I'm like, okay, sure, sure, Popeye's just, all right. Also, I had the note in here as well because they show you like up close of his face, and I had to put, what is this mask?
Yeah.
What was the decision making of Popeye with like shrunken in face and a corn pipe? What was the decision making?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, they saw a picture of Brian Keith and they went, that works. Let's just do that.
I really think so.
Screwed the nose a little bit. Yeah.
I really think so. And the kids end up, much like the last movie, there's just another drunken old man who tells them about Popeye, because apparently that's just the thing. You have to have some drunken man tell you about a killer mutant man. So
every horror movie like this needs a crazy Ralph. That's just the rules. But
if
you're not getting a Crazy Ralph reference, that's Friday the 13th, the old dude that shows up in the first couple of movies. Yes. He ends up getting killed. Yeah.
But of course, these kids just say, yeah, whatever, we're gonna go to the factory to do our paper, and I'm like, yeah, you probably deserve what's about to happen to you, because that was a pretty clear warning.
Yeah, nobody listens to the crazy old coot.
No one ever does. And of course, just like the last movie, you have to have a complete, just terrible person as a boyfriend who's just not a good person, because why not? Because the boyfriend's all like, you gotta do what I want you to, babe. Blah, 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 blah. It's just really stupid. Just, God. So they enter the factory, and obviously, phone service and things, we're just gonna say they don't need those or anything. At any point, I feel someone could have helped you. Well, so the old drunk tries giving him another warning, and then the jealous boyfriend, we get a whole thing of jealous boyfriend trying to stop girlfriend and then ignoring old man. This goddamn movie. So we get a close up on Popeye's face. And I have a note about 30-ish minutes in, because I didn't want to check the time, because I didn't want to know how much more this movie was coming. Get a close-up on his face, and I have it here that I don't like his face. They didn't make the lips attached to anything on the actor, so his talking doesn't look like talking.
Right.
So he just smokes through a pipe that kind of fits in his lips. Just doesn't look right. Also, how much do we want to bet he wasn't smoking tobacco to be in this movie?
I bet you that actor was really glad he had to wear a mask through the whole movie. I'm just...
No one will know my face. So yeah, they set up a bunch of cameras to try to catch paranormal activity, and they have like a monitoring room because they think they're gonna find something. They're just like, we'll do paranormal investigators.
Well, you know what? They would have if she would have got her face out of her phone at all. Okay. Because every time something would cross the monitor, her face was buried on like TikTok or something.
Yeah, exactly. Any point, any of you could have used those phones to get help. Just saying.
Yeah. So we always saw what she would be seeing if she bothered to notice anything on the monitors. Anything.
100%.
The body being dragged across the hallway and shit,
There's so many things she should have noticed. We also get the side plot returns because the realtor has to come back and she gets her paperwork, but she runs into Popeye. And I also have here that for some reason, whatever reason, this was a choice made. They have John Wick-styled music playing while she's being chased, and as that happened, I had to pause it and go, that doesn't fit the tone of anything happening right now. At all. It's just like, that's not the music.
The music
choice.
was really bad in this thing. Yeah.
Just like, that's not the choice for the scene you got going on. She ends up getting killed by a cardboard press. And I had to say in here that, is he a James Bond villain? You picked, like, the slowest possible way to kill this woman. You could have escaped. You could have gotten out of it.
She was locked into the press, remember?
That's right. Okay. But still, it's a very slow death for no reason.
Yeah.
You see him kill everyone else so much faster. I don't know why she... of all people, deserved this.
Yeah.
I think the rich dude deserved that more than her, but whatever.
Yeah. So let's see. And on the kills, I want to mention the guy who actually ran out and got to his car and tried to leave. And then Popeye picks up the back of the car and is holding it up, right? So rear wheel drive. No problem.
Yeah.
The guy gets out of the car. Why don't you stay in the car? Popeye's got to put the car down to get to you. As soon as he puts the car down, then take off. But no, let's get out of the car and try to run off. Yeah, you deserve to die at that point, okay?
Yeah.
A painful, painful death.
And then we also learn that overall the company had tried covering up the contamination that had happened, and that's when they learned about the olive oil whistleblowing and all that fun stuff. Also,
and then they decide this is gonna be a big story. We're gonna break this big story.
Yeah, they're like, this is so important. I'm like, from what happened, 30, 40 years ago? No one's going to care. It's not even open anymore. That would have been cool if it had just happened, but it didn't. So, this is also where they talk about if you smell his tobacco pipe, then it's already too late, and they smell it. And I immediately went, that's not tobacco. That's not the reason everybody's smelling it.
Yeah, and if he's been there that long, where the hell is he getting tobacco? This guy is not walking through town.
You just not going to the gas station like, hey, give me that bag of tobacco over there. Thank you. That's not happening.
I am what I am. Oh, you just want some tobacco. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Get back to the killing. I mean, yeah.
So they also find a child rhyme on the walls, which I didn't bother writing down because I didn't care enough. But it was really just that if you smell the tobacco, it's too late. It's the same thing they've already been told.
Yeah, numerous times. Yeah.
God. Oh, and this is where he steps in to he goes into the monitoring room, and this is where Paul made the good point. If you just stop looking at your phone for 2 seconds, you would have been fine. But she gets so distracted with getting a coffee and like, oh, what's on my phone? Popeye literally walks into the room behind her, like,
you should smell whatever you're smoking at that point, you know?
My God.
Not only that, much like Jason, he probably hasn't bathed in quite a while. You know?
Yeah, I think you're smelling more than just whatever his pipes got going on.
Yeah.
Katie, or whatever, the final girl. I'm just gonna call her final girl. She realizes she looks like olive oil, and it's like a whole thing for her of like, oh, maybe this will be important. Wink.
Foreshadow much? Yeah.
God. They also run into the bad boyfriend again, and he's really bad because he carries a gun. He's really bad, and he comes around with 2 goons, Dumb and Dumber, who don't make it because Popeye shows up, and he just makes quick work of everyone in this room because they're all idiots. Really big idiots.
And he was really an idiot with a gun, you know. I mean, at one point, he's got Popeye dead to rights, and he turns and runs off like a little bitch. Yes. And he's got the gun.
If I remember right, there's the one other dude has a knife, and he tries to use it, and they do like a Punisher Russian scene, and Popeye's just like, that doesn't faze me, and then kills him, and I'm like, that would have been cool in a better movie. There's just a lot of things in this. So they all run.
And if I recall, a boyfriend actually ends up shooting girlfriend.
Yes. Yes, because Popeye twists his arm and gun goes off. He's an idiot. Also, there's one goon who also tries to flee, and Popeye says another word. He goes, no, and then murders him.
Away.
I don't know why they felt the need to add that, but they did.
See, I've always got to wonder with movies like this. And, you know, you're sitting there, the guy's your friend or whatever. And he goes, hey, isn't that cool? And you go, yeah. And when you're really thinking, that is so much shit. What? Tell him. You know.
So bad. Yeah, you know, we already talked about all that because he gets away and boyfriend gets away and then has to like tell everyone that Popeye murdered girlfriend. It's like, no, we know you killed her, so like, I can't wait for your ending because there's no way you're telling me you make it. But yeah, everyone ends up kind of just getting picked off one by one. They all try escaping Popeye.
No, one kill I did find interesting. Seth's kill with the net and the rebar. That went very, very Final Destination.
It did.
That whole sequence. It's like, what's going to happen? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be this? And that, I got to say, they actually did that one pretty well. Is because they did have that little Final Destination touch to it, you know?
That's like you had pointed out with like the special effect. I will give them credit for that at least. It's like special effects wise, they had a better idea what they were doing. So not all the kills are great, but like in general, the way that they handled their special effects, if this had just been written better, this would have been a better movie in general. Because other than the way they wrote it, they handled everything else kind of well. With this whole movie, we're just gonna go ahead and make our way through here. Not only does our final girl realize that she looks like olive oil, but by the end of this movie, she somehow, because they end up in Popeye's like hideout later on, and he's eating the spinach, and they see also the spinach glows. It looks like it's like emeralds. I don't know how the hell he's even eating this stuff. It doesn't look like it's actually
and apparently he's been
edible.
eating it for years because, you know.
Yeah, he's just been eating it, which also raises the question, if this factory's been shut down, where is he getting more canned spinach that's contaminated? Nobody's been making it.
Yeah.
God.
But then we find out a little secret about the final girl.
Yeah, it turns out she's actually Popeye's daughter somehow. This is a point in the movie where I'm like,
for you cartoon freaks, that would be Sweet Pea, the baby.
Thank you. I couldn't
up
remember
in some of the
life of me
Popeye
what that one
cartoons.
is.
That's actually. Also, Wimpy showed up in the movie as well, but he was a passing thing in the background. About the guy who owed the guy at the bar money, and he calls him a freeloading bum, because Wimpy's thing in the old cartoons was, can I borrow a quarter today, or can I buy a burger today and I'll pay you on Tuesday? He was always, trying to pass that forward. It's like
that. See, this one at least they tried to add more. It wasn't just random ghost man. So apparently she's the daughter. That Olive Oil, when she was fired, had like left and had a kid, and Popeye like murdered the factory, being a murder machine, I guess. This movie, this final act of the movie, I'm just like, what was the thought process here, guys? What happened?
Oh, and the daughter going, he won't hurt us, which was true. He wasn't going to hurt her. But then she, don't eat the spinach. We'll come back. We'll save you.
Don't do it. The hell? I don't think you're going to save him. I think he's been dead a while, if I'm going to be honest. I think he's another
20
ghost.
plus years eating that crap. You really think that, okay, if you stop eating it now, you'll get better? Okay.
No, he will not. Fun fact. No, he will not. So she realizes they're not going to hurt him. She gets away. They go away, but the movie does end. It doesn't let the rich guy live. The ending of the movie is that Popeye gets rid of him too, which I was like, okay, all right, movie, I'll clap you for that one. I thought he just came in for one little bit and then was gone. At least you did bring it back that he had to die too. Thank God.
I am going to personally blow this place into oblivion if it means putting an end to these bullshit stories of the Sailor Man once and for all. Get your filthy paws off me, you freak!
I am what I am.
Though, to me, like I said, the rich guy should have been the one in the spinach press. I'm just saying.
Yes. Yes. I will agree. He should have been the one in there. For all of you, I hope, don't watch either of these movies, all right?
No.
Did we cover it in exact detail? No. You know why? Because these movies kill your brain. They're not good, and you won't survive.
And like I said, I watched all three, so all the details are kind of mixed in my head, very bad, potpourri going on up here.
What was the ending? What was going on with the third one? Something about a meteor? Oh, God.
That one was the meteor, yeah. And so somebody who signed some of the paperwork, the name on it is Betsy Palmer. We get a lot of 80s references in Shiver Me Timbers because it's supposed to take place in the 80s. So you get Betsy Palmer from Friday the 13th. You get a almost step-for-step a dance done from, you remember, I'm sure you've seen Return of the Living Dead?
Yes.
And the dance that she does on the grave?
Yes.
You remember the new dance that the redheaded punk chick did on the grave? Yeah, they do in this movie. She's not nude, but they do the dance step for step. I recognized it right away.
Well,
and
maybe I'll have to, maybe I will.
And they had it was really weird because like they would cut to the guy on the lake. This was the guy who would catch, and you see the sun shining behind him. But when they cut back to the teens that were at the campfire, it was pitch black. So they had timing issues going on. And apparently they went out to this area to go see a meteor shower, right?
Uh-huh.
Not once did they look up at the meteor shower. No, nobody had a telescope. Nobody had shit. Okay.
What is going on with these movies? Why?
It's like you need somebody who's going to go, well, if they're going to do this, then they need this because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Well, but they're not actually going to use that. Doesn't matter if they used it. Just look like they have it so they can use it if they want to. You know, it's like...
Now, I also just want to say, these all came out this year. This wasn't even that somebody made one a couple years ago and then some. No, they all came out like at the same time by different people. And I can't believe there were 3 of them. 3 of them! There's what? 2 or 3 Mickey Mouse ones as well. Yeah, we got the first.
I will say, Screamboat is watchable. Okay, I'm just gonna say that right now. Screamboat has David Howard Thornton from Art the Clown.
That's one I wanted to see just because like I knew he's pretty good. I wonder if that one could be played off.
Yeah, he has fun in this movie, and they actually do tie it into the old Screamboat cartoon. Actually,
well, at least somebody tied it back.
they tie it into a whole mythos. I mean, I'm not saying it's Oscar worthy or anything, but it's definitely better than these. You know. And and if you want to, somebody gets their dick chopped off in Screamboat, and you know something.
I will say, like, when it comes to these Popeye ones, it feels like Terrifier 1 like sparked people to just kind of make whatever indie horror film you want to. But I think the problem with that is you get people that make these and they think this is going to take off just like the... No, it's not. First of all, it needs to be watchable. Like, it needs to make sense and it needs to be watchable in some way. Like, Terrifier 1 was just, it came out of nowhere, and nobody thought that was going to have the sequels it did. You can't make a really bad movie and just think, everyone will love it, and I'll make tons. No.
Even, because I've actually met Damien Leone, the writer of, Terrifier, the Terrifier series, and, And, they didn't know they had lightning in a bottle till after they did Terrifier 2. Terrifier... And it's not even the same Art the Clown between Terrifier 1 and 2. David picked it up in 2, and if you go back and watch, 1 was very much darker. 2, David's much more of a mime. He does that dancey thing.
He's really good
and in case you didn't know, Damien does all the practical effects for those movies. He actually has all the animatronics and stuff. Yeah, he made them.
That's honestly what made me check them out to begin with, was like, he's doing his own thing and he knows what he's doing. Like, I'll give him a chance. Like, I can respect that. Which is why Slayer, man, I had a little bit more of a fun time of just, was it a good story? No. But somebody knew how to do effects to be watchable at least. And I appreciated that versus the first one, where it just none of it
and so
was
just so you know, because I have a note for the third one, Shiver Me Timbers, as well.
Yes.
The effects are mostly blood and CGI, or a CGI, and they're bad CGI at that.
Yeah, when you're low budget, don't trust in CGI. You don't have the budget for it. It's not going to go well.
My big thing is when they have a big bloody this is actually one of the problems I had with the Blade movie as well, because they use CGI for a lot of the blood in Blade. You have these creatures that are blowing up blood all over the place, but everything around them ends up being spotlessly clean. I have a problem with that because it takes me out of the scene, you know.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And that's, oh God, I can't, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up watching the third one, and maybe I'll mention it. Well,
I'm just telling you because I got notes here. So, yeah. And the sound design on this movie is really bad. I mean, just really bad.
Oh.
I mean, you're supposed to have the guy walking, you know, their crazy Ralph guy walking away from the car, and the way it sounds, the crunching of it's like way too loud and shit. It's like, what is he walking on glass? What the hell? You know. And then let's see, what is it? Oh, during one of the kills, they actually had like air raid sirens going off in the background sound.
Why?
I don't know why. I have no idea. And just little things I noticed. This was supposed to take place when Halley's Comet came in 1986. Okay. I mean, to the night we're going to go watch Halley's Comet, which again they never looked up and watched Halley's Comet.
This is what missed your whole plot point.
But they make a point of saying that this is the weekend where Critters is released. Critters was released a month after Halley's Comet that year. I actually looked it up because I was like, that can't be right because I'm old and I was alive back then. I was 19, so
can't even get that small detail right. Come on, now. That seems like such a tiny thing. No. A quick Google search corrected your script. Good God.
Oh, and this Popeye for his pipe, his first kill, he ripped off a guy's femur and he supposedly made the femur into a pipe and he's smoking out of it. It's big, gigantic. Like, yeah, that's not how bones work. But that's
not how that works. No.
I mean, there's a lot bad in this movie. If you watch this movie, I feel for you. Okay, wait till it's on sale or something, or you know, or you have reward points that you don't give a shit about. You know.
Well, with that, then, since you ended up watching a third one, what would you say of these is the worst of the Popeye?
The worst was probably, probably the third one.
Really? So Shiver Me Timbers was worse?
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. For the two that I ended up watching, Revenge was the one I thought would be they couldn't possibly do worse. So
no. If you watch the third one, yeah,
God.
You'll definitely come back and say it's worse.
How do you do worse than one of the worst movies I've ever seen?
Oh, there's scenes I haven't even mentioned, dude. There's whole sequences. No. There's a scene that involves an outhouse and shit, and no. So.
I know what I'm gonna have to do now. Well, you heard it here. The worst Popeye is the Shiver Me Timbers, and if you can't find that one and you still want to torture yourself, Popeye's Revenge is out there as well.
Yeah, that would be my second worst right there.
It's somehow Slayer Man came out up on top, but don't take that as a compliment because you're still bad. You're just the best of the
no matter
worst.
how much you polish a pile of shit, it's still a pile of shit. I'm just, it's.
But I mean, this was good practice for later in the season when I get around to doing all the wrong turns. Because fun fact for all of you at home, I've seen all of them. I don't rewatch all of them because they get really, really bad. And I'm getting to the point where it's going to get really, really bad. And I don't look
I don't think I've ever watched anything beyond the first one.
We just did, I think by the time this comes out, we should have Wrong Turn 2 out. And I've heard the opinion, and I actually kind of agree with it. The Wrong Turn 2 should have just been the first movie. It's like... It has way more fun with its premise than the first movie did, and
the reason I haven't watched anymore is the first one was kind of difficult to watch and go, hey, I want more of that. It's like,
we talked about it when we, if you watch the channel, we already talked about Wrong Turn, but it borrowed way too much from the things that were coming out at that time. Because we talked about, there was the Texas Chainsaw reboot, the Hills Have Eyes reboot, and that movie took elements of both of them to make it. And like, as you're watching, you're like, I've seen similar premise and similar things done already, like months before this came out. So regardless, like they did a lot there. Right. And the second one does the same.
That can be an issue if it's that fresh in your mind. Yeah, it can be an issue to separate it. And go, okay.
They really messed up doing it the way they did. They released it at the worst time they could have. It's gotten a cult following since, but it's like you put it out at a bad time. It just no.
I may have to go watch those. I may have to go back and watch those.
But the second one's a B movie. But it's nowhere near as bad as these.
So it's a B plus. It's a B.
It just has way more fun with what it was doing because it's a reality TV show happening as your base premise. So it just has way more fun with what's going on.
Cool.
But to all of you at home, if you like what you're seeing, you like what you hear, if we made you laugh and we didn't kill your brain cells, then give us a like, a comment, a subscribe, all that fun stuff. Share it with people. That's a fun thing to do. Last time I heard, but maybe I'm wrong. Paul, where can they find you? If anybody wants to come find you.
For those of you who don't know me and watch this whole thing, go, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't think I ever got introduced. My name is Cerebral Paul.
I'll cut it into the beginning.
There you go. It won't look fake at all. There, we'll throw that right in there. Yeah,
it'll fit with these movies.
You can find me on Twitter or X or whatever the hell you want to call it nowadays.
Yeah, whatever you want to
Playground. At Cerebral Paul 1. You can find me Twitch and YouTube, both at Cerebral Paul. I'm on Twitch mostly, but I'm trying to build up my YouTube following. So go to both channels and follow and subscribe and all that crap. And I'm also part of 4GQ TV, and we do a show every week about pop culture and movies and TV and video games. And I'm also part of lordsofgaming.net, where we just I'm one of the editors over there, and we just do gaming articles and things like that. So those are all the places you can find me.
Go check him out, because he, as you can see in this episode, he's a fun guy. He's very nice. He's very willing to watch things that no one should be subjected to watching.
Oh, when you get back to the States, we're having a talk, okay?
Yeah, I think that's going to be with a couple people. But to all of you, stay odd, stay happy. Go check out What an Oddcast, our main podcast. You can catch it podcast platforms or YouTube, wherever it is you want to listen or watch, what have you. We'll catch you on the next one. I don't know what the next episode's going to be because I haven't planned it yet. So, but it doesn't matter because I'm 2 episodes ahead now. So. Take that, Dad. You all stay on, stay happy. We'll see you on the next one. Hopefully better.